The conference today is looking at workforce into the future. And while there may be some uncertainties, there are some things we already know. Whether supplying services to people with a disability, or older people, or youth, or families, or Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander communities, we know the community services sector is growing, and it's growing rapidly. While growth can be positive, it places our sector in a position of needing to meet a workforce growth rate that is exceptional. In the period to 2025, that growth rate is more than double the average growth rate of Australia. And in Queensland, it's almost triple. We also know that despite inclusive recruitment attempts, our workforce remains an older workforce and it can lack diversity. The older workforce demographic also means that further staff losses are looming on our mutual horizon through retirement or reduced hours. And this requires long-term workforce planning rather than reactive recruitment. So increasingly, the question is, who will step up in the next 20 years, the next 10 years, the next 5 years, or even next year to be our workforce into the future? Where are they right now? What skills will they need to make them suitable for this sector? And importantly, what can we do today to create in our communities an ongoing, long-term supply of industry-ready workforce for the future? The Gateway to Industry Schools program is funded and supported by the Queensland Government and led and delivered by industry organisations. The program links students with industry and gives them a taste of what a future in an industry would be like while they gain valuable skills. A project specifically focusing on the community service sector is one of the newest to be rolled out, and National Disability Services is the project partner. Really meeting industry need is central to the success of this project, and we've been asking employers what they look for in their young recruits. And you've told us about gaps. Gaps like acknowledging a business need for young employees and a more representative work team, but trouble attracting them, and the absence of promotion and awareness of community service careers with young people generally. You've told us you're not just interested in focusing on the subjects a qualification possesses, but also the values and attributes a young person possesses. It was not so much getting recruits as the right recruits. And one of the most vital needs that it was being fed back by employers is that youth actually need to understand the sector they're entering. Understand its breadth and its roles, but also to have exposure to meaningful experiences, to placements, to realistic industry information, to both build knowledge and confidence, but also to stop a disparity between theory and reality. You told us exposure was vital. Yet historically, connecting to industry or experience is often difficult for young people in schools, especially in sectors like the community sector. This critical gap is a major focus of the Community Services Gateway to Industry Schools project. So we are seeking to work in collaboration with young people, employers, schools, universities, trainers and families to ensure a strong pathway of training and experience for a cohort of people in our community who will go on to be our community service leaders. The project is based on the following principles. Firstly, discovery. So boosting awareness and the profile of community service careers to young people and their families through events or promotion. It will also facilitate industry-relevant professional development to school professionals to help them connect curriculum to community service learnings. It will prioritise experiential learning wherever possible and seek new opportunities for young people to learn and do, and allow them some real-life exposure of working with and in community. It'll foster connections account, so connections directly with employers, vocational trainers, universities. It will provide pathway clarity, so building a young person's ability to navigate from interest through to qualifications through to employment, either while it's still at school or post-school. And lastly, it allows differentiation because involvement in this project is intentional. Participating schools enter agreements via MOUs that involve a number of commitments to allocate resources and time to align their school to community service career outcomes. For employers, this identifies those schools as local launching grounds for future workforce. And for students, it allows a significant head start to either employment or tertiary specialisation in this burgeoning sector. However, if this project is to meet industry need and for the sector to benefit, it must be industry-led. So NDS is seeking input and leadership from the sector in a variety of ways. For example, is your business interested in employing or placing a young person undergoing training for the community services sector? Would you be willing to be an influencer and perhaps take part on a regional reference group or feedback on local training options? Perhaps you're willing to share your story directly with young people or with school teams via Q&A sessions or day in the life perspectives. Or maybe right now on your team, you have a great young employee who will consider becoming a project ambassador. There are so many ways you could support the Community Services Gateway to Industry Schools project in your region. And so we'd urge you to reach out today using the contact details shown here and really be a part of influencing your future workforce. Thank you.